Hey y'all, let's have some fun in our sketchbook. I want to show you one of my sketchbooks that I am currently working in. Most of the pages in this sketchbook are unfinished, and I'm constantly coming back to this book and working into it and trying new things. So this is the book, and what I've been working in it is I've been using water-soluble crayons, gesso, acrylic, and colored pencils. And you can see I'm kind of doing all sorts of things very abstractly in this book. Well, I like all the pages so far except for one spread. And so what I want to do is I'm going to show you that spread. This is the spread that does not make me happy. So I wanted to share with you what I do in my sketchbooks for pages that I don't really care for. Now, with that said, I'm going to give you a little of my sketchbook philosophy because I have been keeping a sketchbook, golly, for 35 years, because I definitely started keeping a sketchbook when I was a teenager in high school. And I still have those books, and I absolutely love looking through them. They actually still inspire me to this day and inform my work, which is actually kind of amazing. Do I think that sketchbooks have to be pristine and perfect and beautiful? I absolutely do not believe that. I think a sketchbook is your private place to make a mess, write down your thoughts, make a masterpiece, notes, whatever, chart out palettes. I mean, anything goes in it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. But I think that you at least have to like it and enjoy it, and it should bring you joy, or it should at least inform you in some kind of happy way. This does not make me happy. What would make me happy is altering it a bit. And so that's what I want to share with you today, is kind of my process. This isn't my only process, but it's a process that I do to just change a page in my sketchbook that I'm not nuts about. So what I have here, this is deli paper, like food grade paper, sandwich paper. I buy it at Sam's Club in bulk. And it's just called like deli paper, like a, food delicatessen paper. It's flat on one side, matte and flat on one side, and it's kind of shiny on the other side, which is, it's like water resistant paper. I use this with monoprinting all the time, but it also collages really, really well. So I draw with wax crayon on the shiny side, and I usually leave the matte side for gluing down. And what's cool about it is it's see-through, like it's transparent. So I want to show you what it is going to do in this book, because it's actually super cool. So what I have here is matte medium and a funky brush, and I'm just going to cover all of this with the deli paper. And it's super fast. It dries fast because matte medium dries fast. And yes, it's going to make a mess because I've got like water-soluble pencil on here. And I am being mindful of like, how do I want the design, like how much hangover do I want? What this is going to do for me is it's just toning down the busyness of what's happening underneath. And you can see there is a difference. Like this is now dulled out compared to the rest of the activity that's going on. I know my method might seem weird, but I just want to get the two ends on and then fill in the middle, mainly because when I tested this paper out to see like how does it fit, these four pieces are like literally just going to fit on in here. Now this deli paper actually dries it goes down pretty flat and dries pretty flat, which is awesome. And because I used wax crayon on here, that's why the blue doesn't move at all. All right, let me see if this is gonna like totally cover. It doesn't, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna tear this off and reuse some of that. Okay. You're just hearing my thinking process. And I had water-soluble graphite under here, and that is definitely making a little bit of a mess, but I'm not worried about it because all it's gonna do is just add like a little bit of a patina, and it's literally gonna actually add to the cloudiness that I am attempting with this process. So I put the matte medium down first, and then here we are. Then I'm laying down, and this actually fit in the crease quite perfectly. That actually worked out really well. Ooh, look at all this gray. I'm not sure how well, it's not mucking up my white spots. I thought it was gonna muck up my little white dots, but it's not messing them up too bad. Now, what I don't like is this right here. So I am going to use this to cover it, but I don't want that big of a chunk. And I don't want a straight edge. So I'm gonna lay that there. And then I'm gonna call this done as far as what I am collaging on top. Sometimes, y'all, it's hard to talk and do this at the same time. It's kind of funny. And I'm a talker. So for me to have trouble talking, that's saying something. Okay, so here we are. I am actually gonna peel this off, otherwise it's gonna stick. I'm gonna let this dry, and so we will come back in 1 second. Okay, y'all, the paper is dry, and I actually cut, I trimmed all the overhang off already. So sorry that I did not do that on camera. I kind of just wasn't thinking. It's such a habit. Like once it was dry, I chopped it off and then I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't film that, but that's okay. So you can see everything is nice and flat. You can see through the deli paper, you know, what was underneath, which now I'm happy with this spread. The busyness has kind of been covered by almost like a veil. I like to think of this, the deli paper, as it's like sheer curtains on a window, or, you know, looking through a veil. It just kind of softens whatever is underneath, and I really like that. So this is just a great technique in general for even just covering something that you don't like on any work of art, not just a sketchbook. You can do it elsewhere. So I also wanted to show you that the little pieces that I cut off, I saved them and I glued them, or, you know, used my matte medium and I put them down on this spread. So it just added a little extra something to this spread. So now I've got other marks that I can actually respond to. So what I wanted to do though, before I end this session with you, is I really did like these heavy lines that I had underneath. So I want to bring those back. But originally I'm shaking up my Posca. That's what you're hearing. I did it originally in black, and I don't want that because it was too heavy. So I'm going to use this blue. So let me get a scratch sheet here. You always want to test your Poscas, make sure, or your paint pens, to make sure that they're good to go. This one is one of my faves. Look how chunky this is. This is just magical. So here we go. I'm just gonna trace a bit of what I did. I may stray a tiny bit. This makes me so happy. I'm really liking this. So much better. So it's more cohesive. I brought out the red and the yellow just in case if I was feeling like I wanted to add to it. But I'm feeling like I don't. I'm actually, this is it for now. And this is kind of how I work in my sketchbooks, is bit by bit sometimes. I don't always finish something in that sitting. A lot of times I will make marks and then leave it for the day and come back to it at another time and complete it, add to it, what have you. As you can see, I mean, I started this book, this was the first spread I did in here. I moved on, kept going in the book, came back to this one, realizing I wasn't satisfied with it and I wanted to change it. So there you have it. I hope this session just gave you almost like food for thought, or just ways of just tweaking things, doing something different with something that you've already created, like how you can change something without completely losing what is underneath. So happy creating, y'all, and happy working in your sketchbooks.